Hello everyone, my name is Beth Gilbert and I am the Voting and Elections Manager for In This Together NEPA. I am also a busy working mom, a former elections administrator, and a Luzerne County voter who has cast their ballot using a Dropbox.
Go, Mr. Attic.
Across the Commonwealth, Pennsylvanians have the freedom to choose how they cast their ballots, in person on Election Day, by mail-in ballot, or by using a Dropbox. We applaud the Luzerne County Board of Elections for making Dropboxes accessible in Luzerne County since 2020. But here we are today with Luzerne County voters and Pennsylvania legislators, Senator Marty Flynn, Representative Jim Haddock, and Representative Eddie Dapashinsky, because Luzerne County Manager Ramilda Crockamo has made the unilateral decision to eliminate all mail ballot Dropboxes for the November 5th, 2024 general election, just weeks before Election Day. This decision bypasses the Luzerne County Board of Elections and raises serious concerns about the overreach of unelected county administrators. Dropboxes have been a secure and convenient option for voters in Luzerne County since 2020. Citing unfounded security concerns and financial risks, Croccamo's decision disregards the critical importance of voter access.
At the Dropboxes. COVID, we need Dropboxes.
With video surveillance and other security measures already in place,
in April. Keep smiling, Eddie. It got rewritten over.
Administrative issues could have been resolved without eliminating Dropboxes altogether. This decision threatens to disenfranchise voters and erodes public trust in the election process at a time when it is crucial to protect and expand access to the ballot.
We love her.
If this decision is not reversed, it will have a very real impact on voters and communities across the county. Their stories show us exactly why Dropboxes are so needed in our county. First, we will hear from Carol Shearer. Carol Shearer and her husband live in the Hazleton area.
In this country for hundreds of years without Dropboxes, we don't need them now.
Just keep going. Last year, when an unexpected family emergency caused them to be out of town on Election Day, they were able to have their voices heard and their votes counted because Luzerne County had Dropboxes.
20,000 mules.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good evening. My name is Carol Shearer. I'm a 21-year resident of Butler Township in Luzerne County. I'm a spouse, a mom, and a Nona, and I've been a registered active voter for 51 years. I'm going to be reading from my notes tonight because I'm not an off-the-cuff speaker, but what I have to say, to me, is extremely important. I'm here today to talk about the importance of Dropbox voting. Aside from partisan politics or unfounded election lies and conspiracy theories, Dropboxes make voting more accessible for many of us here in Luzerne County. You know, I'm 69 and retired. I can wait.
That's fine, so can we. Vote in the mailbox.
Here are two legitimate and not uncommon reasons why. First of all, I have a 93-year-old father-in-law and grandchildren who live 4 and 10 hours away. At any moment, my husband and I can be called away for a family emergency. This happened last April, very close to the primary, when our 4-week-old grandchild ended up in emergency surgery at Penn in Pittsburgh. We dropped everything and drove through the night so that we could take care of his 3-year-old brother.
Okay, so put it in the mailbox.
If not for Dropbox voting in advance of Election Day, our right to vote would have been forfeited if an instance like this fell on Election Day. That's unacceptable.
Okay, so put it in the
Another
mailbox.
example of our many fellow citizens who may have to work 12-hour shifts on Election Day with no option not to. Why should their ability to cast their vote be denied?
For hundreds of
Because
years,
their
we've all
shift
managed
on
to figure out how to
Election
vote.
Day may be 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And they spend additional time before and after work taking their kids to school
We
or
voted for
daycare
hundreds
and
of
picking
years
them
without
up.
Dropboxes.
And their
once
lunch
figured
and
it
dinner
out,
breaks do not
you can figure
afford
it out
ample
too.
time to get to the polls and back. We have options for folks in these situations to cast their ballots. yet those options are being denied. That's unacceptable. Anti-Dropbox people have argued with me that I should just put my ballot in the mail.
Yep.
And use mail-in voting, excuse me. But I can't rely on mail-in voting. Last year, mail-in ballots were sent out so late that using the mail to return them was not a reliable option.
You can drop off the
And
election
in
droppers
addition,
anytime.
once in the past, my mailed ballot was never received through the U.S. mail. We've all had
Yes, but you can
experiences
drop it
with
off
the
the
mail
election office
being
at any
slow,
point, mail
and yet
anytime.
we won't have drop boxes to cast our ballots. That's unacceptable. From our existence, humans have consistently discovered and invented new and better ways to do things. That's indisputably who we are as human beings. Drop boxes have been an important means of casting ballots in this county for years. Passing Act 77 in Pennsylvania in 2019 meant that we had safe methods for voting during the peak of COVID-19 pandemic. So the simple question for me is why is the continuing use of drop boxes for voting such a volatile issue with some people? Just go to the polls, people shout at me on social media.
Yes, just go to the poll.
To me, that's a thoughtless and shallow way to think about this issue. Remember my personal example? Policies about voting need to show compassion and empathy and to recognize that everyone's lives don't look the same. What's possible for some may be totally impossible for others. Despite election deniers, even in our own county government and community groups, using drop boxes to vote has proven to be without fraud and an improvement over the status quo. Using drop boxes should now be a right and not one that turns on and off on someone's whim. If security was the ongoing concern, the more legitimate question is, why wasn't the time and effort needed to secure Dropbox locations before this election and my right to vote made a priority? I want all of our options for voting to be secure, and I want not just for me, but for my friends, my family, and my fellow citizens to be able to cast their ballots the way that works best for them. Making sure our elections are secure and our voting rights aren't denied have to go together. If our rights and needs as voters weren't considered when making this decision, that's unacceptable. Thank you.
Vote in person on election day. Vote by mail. Drop off your
For
ballot.
folks watching
Not
on
so hard.
Facebook, we've got like 5 loud, annoying guys here, so they're allowed to speak. They should hold their own press
Next, we are
conference.
going to have Hannah Butterwick, a Luzerne County voter from the Back Mountain. Hannah Butterwick and her husband lived in the Back Mountain with their 2 small children. Hannah has used drop boxes for years as a protection for her immunocompromised family and her 2 small children with health issues. Hannah is a passionate advocate for
Okay,
voting
people
rights
that
and
have
disability
health issues
rights.
for hundreds of years, and they figured out how to vote in normal means. How are you standing here with autoimmune disease? That doesn't seem safe.
Hello, my name is Hannah Butterwick.
Hi, Hannah.
I've been using drop boxes for many years now, and I would be one of the many people
this year-
affected if they were removed. I'm immunocompromised, and I'm a mom of a 1-year-old who is also immunocompromised. Mail-in voting is my family's way of adding an additional layer of security and safety and keeping me from standing in long lines, which is difficult. These vague excuses that we were given of safety do not make sense. You've secured polling locations, 130 of them to be specific, but you can't manage to find a way to secure 4 drop boxes. If security is truly the concern, then a solution should have been found before now, instead of the
So vote
total
by mail.
removal
Why
of one
can't
of
you
our
vote by
voting
mail?
options. We know that in-person voting poses security concerns as well,
Okay,
yet we
people voted in
ensure
person for hundreds of
proper
years.
measures
Why
are
is
put
it
in
now all of a
place to
sudden a
protect
problem?
voters. Why aren't we doing the same with drop boxes? How do we know where the removal of our voting rights will end? This decision was not made in the best interest of the community. There's no difference between a voter using a Dropbox versus a voter dropping their mail-in ballot in the mail. In both cases, all ballots received are subject to an arduous process of verification to ensure their legality by the Bureau of Elections. They are our line of defense against voter fraud. So I plead to the county manager, county council, and board of elections. You must represent all of the people of this county. Blue-collar workers who can't afford to take off work, busy stay-at-home moms, people who are disabled, and the elderly who rely on these drop boxes as a means to safely and securely vote. Voters trust these drop boxes more than the currently unreliable United States Postal Service, and we feel safe dropping our ballots off. In 2024, this is shameful. These drop boxes have become a symbol of the attacks on voter access. And this county should not cater to the people who are spreading fear and election lies. All eyes are on Luzerne County. We should be serving as an example of how to enfranchise voters and not how to disenfranchise them. To the county manager and county council, I hope that you find a way to ensure these ballot drop boxes remain available for the voters who need them the most. After all, that is your job. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Figure out a voting person for hundreds of
Everybody,
years,
let's
but
thank
you're gonna
Hannah.
get this year, you won't die, I promise.
Next, we are going to have Pennsylvania State Representative Eddie Dapashinsky from House District 121.
Let's go, Michaela!
Wrong district. Representative Eddie Dapashinsky represents HD 121, which includes the city of Wilkes-Barre, where we're standing right now. This is a populous and diverse district, a district where many of our neighbors used to be able to return their ballots to the drop box right by security and Penn Police. Now those constituents will have to make time to get to the Bureau of Elections and Penn Police.
I know, that's such a big burden that we've done for hundreds of years.
Thank you, Beth, and thank you all of you
Thank
for
you, Beth.
being here today. And thank you also for those of you that have a different opinion. That's quite all right. The only thing that I would ask is Mom and Dad proud of you? Because you'll have your chance too to speak. But what are you worried about? What are you afraid of what we're going to tell you? Why can't you just let us speak and then you have your turn to respond? All you want to do is disrupt again. And let's go back those 100 years.
Eddie Day,
Let's
go away!
back those
Eddie Day, go away!
Oh,
Eddie
you're
Day,
so
go
good with
away!
that.
Eddie Day, go away!
No
Eddie
way,
Day,
no
go
how.
away.
No way, no how. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, it's not 100 years ago. It is now 2024.
Yeah, okay, we have
Things have
better
changed
hope today than
dramatically.
100 years ago. They can get to the free
There are
polls.
thousands
Not so
and
hard.
thousands of people from Luzerne County that do not live in the district. They do not live in the county when it's time to vote. There are thousands of Luzerne County residents that have jobs that take them away from the county. There are thousands of unfortunate folks who have health concerns, health problems that
Health
make a
concerns have been
difference.
problems for hundreds of years. It's not a
So
new invention.
to all of you that are listening, why would we want to make it harder on our citizens to vote? Let's make it easier for our citizens to vote so everyone can vote, including you. You have the right to vote.
Don't worry, we're voting.
But unfortunately, these guys are afraid of the truth. These people are afraid of the facts. That's why they're
What
trying
facts?
to disrupt us and interrupt.
What facts?
This
What
is
facts?
America. We
What
all
facts?
have the right of our
What
opinion.
facts?
Look at that.
Tell me the
Isn't that
facts.
something?
Tell
Boy,
me
your
the facts.
mom would be very proud of you.
She
Your
is.
dad's very proud of
she
you.
is.
Take that
Trust me,
microphone
she
away,
is.
son.
Trust me, she
So
is.
from a
Let me
legal
hear the facts.
standpoint, it's an honor to serve as your state representative. It's an honor for me to be here with my fellow colleagues, Senator Flynn, Senator Haddock. It's an honor for us to serve. And I say this to you in all honesty, of, by, and for the people. They have a right to speak. They have a right of their opinion. That's okay. What they're doing now is just disrupting
We still have a
and
right
not
to do it.
allowing,
We still have a right to do it.
not
We still have a
allowing the
right to do
truth.
it.
Our concern is timing. Our
Your
concern is that
stealing
the
the election,
people
which we're not letting you do
are
this
going to
year.
feel
Get over it.
confident in our voting system. That's why we're here today. All we're saying is leave everything the way it is.
Yes,
the way
correct.
it is.
Yes, leave everything the way it is. No drop boxes.
No, we had Dropbox.
I know,
And
but now
they
we
worked.
don't. So we're gonna
And there were thousands of people that voted in those drop boxes because that was convenient for them to do it, because of their lifestyles, because of their conditions.
remove the
So all
Democrats
we're
use the
asking,
drop
all
boxes
we're
to stop the
asking,
complaining.
just leave it the way it is. And you know what? We'll come back to the table. You're welcome to come back to the table, and we could discuss what you want to do in the next election. But from the standpoint of the law, from the standpoint of all that's been done, we're trying to make it as easy and convenient for our
And
people
easy
here
to
in Luzerne
cheat, and
County.
easy to cheat because we
And
cannot
with
get
that-
the footage from the Dropbox locations. You will not show us the footage from the Dropbox locations. You're trying to make it easy to cheat.
Oh my goodness
And
gracious.
oh my goodness is not a
Oh,
response.
my goodness
Oh my goodness
gracious.
is not a response.
So
It is a
sad.
response.
Okay, it's a condescending response. It's not actually answer the problem. You guys are trying to make it easier to cheat. I hope the boss is proud of you.
Oh, thank you, buddy. So, Beth, we're going to continue to attempt to tell the truth, and hopefully they don't get distracted. Just give them the truth, Beth.
Bye, Eddie. Hi, Beth. Welcome back, Beth.
Okay, next we have Pennsylvania State Representative Jim Haddock from House
Let's
District
go,
118.
Michaela. Let's go.
Representative Jim Haddock represents HD 118 and is the former mayor of Avoca. Until last Wednesday's announcement, constituents in Representative Haddock's district have the ability to safely and securely return their ballots by using the closest available location to his district in Penn Place. Now, without any drop boxes, countywide seniors and those working irregular hours will need to get to the Bureau between the hours of 9 to 4:30 p.m.
Reminder to folks on Facebook, there's like
Thank you, Beth.
3 or 4 annoying guys behind us who like to hear their own
Luzerne
voices.
County has
No, not
provided
House Bill 300. Come on.
drop boxes as a service to its residents over the past several years. Notably, during a presidential election this year, the county has already received over 27,000 mail-in ballot requests. However, without prior notice or justification, the county has altered its rules mid-process, potentially causing confusion and voter suppression.
If your voters are too stupid to figure out how to
This
vote the way they
change
have for
has
hundreds of years,
caused
they shouldn't be
unfavorable
voting.
attention to Luzerne County regarding election matters one more time. Consequently, the county officials have a responsibility to the 27,000 residents that have already received a mail ballot and applied for a mail ballot. We must have our county maintain the drop boxes because it's not fair to change the rules in the middle of a process. Those 27,000 people in
You
Luzerne
guys are just
County
scared because we
that
run
have already
Luzerne County and
applied
we got our majority.
deserves
You guys
the
are
rules
minority
not
now.
to be changed.
This is just your little
Thank you.
pathetic backlash from 10 people trying to complain about it. Michaela's going to kick your ass this November.
Okay, next we have Jenny Wilczak, who is a Luzerne County voter from the Mountaintop area.
Is she also unable to vote in person or by mail? Or early?
Jenny resides in Wright Township with her family. She's deeply passionate about voting rights and has always enjoyed going to the polls on Election Day. But this year, due to health issues, voting in person on Election Day is not a viable option for Jenny.
Okay, so I can't wait to hear why she can't vote in person or by mail or in
Just
the
a
election
reminder,
building.
we're
She
not
went down
here for
here
those
a speech.
guys. We're not here for those guys.
Made it here, all right. Got here, okay.
Good evening.
Good
My
evening.
name is Jenny Wilczak.
Hi, Jenny.
I'm a resident of Wright Township. I've always taken my right to vote seriously. I've been a committed voter here in Luzerne County for over 10 years.
Before drop boxes, too.
Typically, I voted in person because being part of the democratic process is something I've always valued. However, this year is going to be different for me. October 14th and again on October 28th, I'm scheduled to have major back surgery. And the reality is, I'll likely still be in the hospital or getting home and recovering on election day. It's going to be difficult, but voting is important to me. And I don't want my health challenges to keep me from making my voice heard. That's why I'll be voting by mail this year for the first time since 2020. The option of a Dropbox would make a huge difference for me. For someone in my situation, it isn't about convenience. It's about ensuring that I can safely and securely cast my ballot and have peace of mind knowing it's going where it needs to go.
Yep.
I'll already be facing the stress of recovery from 2 major back surgeries, and a Dropbox will give me the reassurance that my vote will be counted without adding
serious question for
worry
you. Is there a USPS
about
mailbox
delays
close
or
to your house with a
uncertainty.
Dropbox?
For people like me, people with health challenges, seniors, and for those with disabilities,
Okay,
Dropboxes
bet you
aren't a
$100
luxury,
right now that
they're
there's
a
a mailbox close
lifeline.
to your house and that Dropbox.
Not everyone
Or a
can
post
stand
office.
in long lines, especially when they're in pain or unable to move freely. And not everyone can rely on mail delivery being timely, especially when the stakes are so high. Removing Dropboxes creates unnecessary barriers for voters like me, countless others who just want to exercise their right to vote. I urge the county manager to reconsider this decision. This isn't about a few Dropboxes. This is about ensuring that every single voter, regardless of their personal circumstances, has a fair and secure way to cast their ballot. It's about making sure our voting process is inclusive and accessible to all. We should be doing everything in our power to make voting easier, not harder.
If this guy over here with the toes
Especially
cut off
for
to
those
make it, why
who
can't
need
you make
the
it?
most. I'll be in the hospital. Thank you so much for your time and for listening to why this issue matters so deeply.
That's great for him.
Lastly, we will have Senator Marty Flynn representing Senate District 22. Senator Flynn represents Senate District 22, which includes portions of Luzerne County, both urban and rural, and up until last Wednesday, constituents in Senator Flynn's district had access to one Dropbox location in Luzerne. Meanwhile, Senator Flynn's Lackawanna County constituents are able to use 4 Dropboxes in Clark Summit, Moosic, Dixon City, and Scranton.
Hello, Senator.
Hello, Frank Scavo. Good to see you here. You're not raiding the U.S. Capitol, you're raiding the Luzerne County Courthouse. Great to see you. If anything we're doing today here, folks, we're showing a contrast of how we as citizens act. My colleaagues here, both Republicans and Democrats here, this is not a partisan activity.
Just Democrats. Stop the line.
Act 77 was a Republican bill that allowed ballot boxes and vote by mail. Vote by mail. That's what it did.
Sir, you know
and that's what we're here to do today.
By the Supreme Court. You know this.
The Election Bureau of Luzerne County appointed the ballot boxes. Ms. Crocamo got rid of the ballot boxes with no authority to do so.
She's the county manager. It's for her full authority. If
she doesn't have the authority over election matters.
Right now.
So we will see. We will see. I would like to know myself who told her to do this, by the way. Who disenfranchised the 17,000 Democratic votes, the 7,500 Republican votes, the last election cycle. That's what I would like to know.
Frank Scavo.
But one of the most important things today as we speak and as we give our opinions on this matter is that we draw a contrast between my colleagues and everyone that's here voicing their opinion and your opinion.
How many mailboxes are between your house and the
looking
Dropbox?
at the way you carry yourself. That's all that we're here to do. Show everybody Show everybody. Show everybody your character and what you're about.
How many mailboxes between your house and the Dropbox?
That's it. We won right there. Right there. You have your time you have your time.
I don't know your house
address. You can call yours.
How many mailboxes are between your house and the Dropbox?
Listen, you can have, here's my question. Why are you talking?
Why
are you talking?
I want to know the
This is our press
No,
conference.
no, it's not your place. It's the people's place.
It's our
It
press
is the people's
conference.
place. It is
It's
not
our
your
press
place.
conference.
It's our First Amendment.
Yeah.
You have a microphone. I have a microphone.
And you're showing
That's
so
all
much
we want.
class.
You're not better
So
than us.
much class.
You're not better than
I didn't
us.
say I was better than you. I'm just
You said
drawing a
this is your place.
comparison.
This is not your place. This is the people's
So
place.
look.
This is the people's place.
I can't wait till you have your press conference and we'll show up to that.
Please, go ahead.
And when we
You guys don't- it
do,
doesn't
we
scare
won't
me.
act like you do.
Oh,
We
okay.
won't act
Feel
like
free
you do.
to, but this is the people's
won't
place.
act
This
like
isn't your place. I'm just as much of a right to speak as you do.
Glad you showed us.
You're welcome.
Class act. Class act.
Same with you.
You got your
You
little
tell me it's your
costumes.
place, and I
You guys
can't
look
speak
great
here.
with your
You're
costumes
wrong.
and your
You don't belong
hats.
in government. It's our First Amendment right,
You
and
have
we
some
are
of the Kool-Aid?
exercising it.
Give me some of the Kool-Aid.
First
Can I have
Amendment.
some?
It's called the
I want
First
some of that
Amendment.
Kool-Aid.
It's called the
The
First
red Kool-Aid.
Amendment.
Give it to me.
It's called the First Amendment. First Amendment.
It's great. We're glad you're here. Thank you.
I'm glad you're here too. Hi Beth, welcome back.
My blood pressure was 20 over
He needs some heart medication.
These powerful words from our elected representatives and Luzerne County voters prove that drop boxes are needed throughout the county.
Very costly.
Voters absolutely deserve to feel safe casting their ballot by mail, by drop box, or at the ballot box. If the county has concerns for voter safety with the use of drop boxes, we must look no further than our country's current climate of political violence and harmful rhetoric about our elections like we're seeing here
There's
today.
no political violence
Here and
other than
across the
shooting
nation,
Trump.
Here and across the
Other than
nation,
trying to
politicians are
assassinate Trump,
constantly
there's not
sowing
political
doubt in
violence.
election results and undermining the work of election officials with absolutely no evidence to support their claims. This is not fair to them, and it's not fair to voters. Luzerne County has consistently received over $1 million annually since 2022 with the Election Integrity Grant to help with the administration and security of elections.
Is that company that you guys have
This
contracted?
funding can and should be used to help secure our drop boxes.
where
Luzerne
do you
County
think the money
has the
came from,
opportunity
Beth?
to be a
It came from
consistent
us.
leader in how elections are run in northeastern Pennsylvania and the Commonwealth. To do this, officials must commit to implementing consistent policies and procedures for each and every election
It's
designed
consistent. There
to
are no
minimize
drop
voter
boxes throughout
confusion,
the county. That's
maximize
consistent.
voter access, and affirm voter trust. We call on voters who are concerned about this issue to speak out and make sure that their voices are heard. We need drop boxes
Our
in
voices
Luzerne
are
County.
heard, but your representatives don't like it.
We call on the county
this
manager
is
to
in
reverse
our
course
space,
and
but
implement
actually
drop
this is.
boxes throughout Luzerne County. Thank you very much.
Beth, when you guilt kicked me out of the Zoom last night, that hurt my feelings.
If any members of the press want to come closer, we can take questions from members of the credentialed press.